Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to Bubak. Check it out. Oh, see? There you go. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Jeff and Justin from Bubak. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing fantastic. And we actually have a fan joining, Chris. It looks like he's connecting audio, or she. Yeah.
Probably.
What's that?
Probably my partner. Christy.
All right, cool, excellent. So that's cool. So how have you guys been doing? I mean, it's been we've all been kind of locked down for the last couple of years. How have things been treating you guys, and what's new on the Bubak front?
Honestly, things are actually people would say a little irresponsibly, but we kept jamming. Pandemic kicked in, and just practicing. But we took the opportunity to we wrote volume. We released an album, and
we kept. Even when we kept practicing all the time, every week, keep fresh, keep things going, write new stuff, because we had already planned to go in the studio and record, volume 3. Half the songs weren't even written.
Yeah.
When we had to go into the studio to record all this stuff, and this before the pandemic hit, and all this hit, and I was like, got to do it. So we just kept on with it. We practiced. Yeah. And got that going, and let the first wave hit, and then the second year, we played a few shows.
Yeah.
We played Lansing, played Ohio a couple times.
Yeah.
Nice.
Played some shows, made a little bit of money, and put in a big order with merch and stuff like that. So we're gonna have some new merch coming up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Covers out, except for some. We'll post some pictures on pretty soon about that. But we're gonna have new shirts.
But I
material soon.
Yeah,
we're working on that,
which is good. That we just kind of had time to regroup, to just hunker down, write music, and just figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
and then when we hit the show, when we started playing the shows this summer, when things kind of got back going again, people were thirsty to get out and see some live music. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So
they still are.
They still are. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it was good, we played 5 shows or something, just
5 or 6
from the middle of the summer until just last month.
And we got guarantees this time, which was strange. Which was okay,
never happened before.
It's not, it's it's guaranteed 50 here, so which it works. It does help. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know that when shows started coming back, I was almost. A couple of times emotional, you just be there and holy shit, we're I hadn't thought about it, but I had kind of taken it for granted, being able to go out to a show, go see that band
all the time. You go out all the time, and it gets taken away from you. It just when it starts going again, you get emotional, you just get very happy about it.
Yeah.
Internet connection that's unstable.
Yeah,
that's all right.
We're
unstable.
My connection is unstable. We're in the basement right now on my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi router is on the other side of the house.
All right.
Hopefully we can keep it together here. You're not losing us, are you?
You did clip out for just a second. So if it starts happening more, you can just turn the video off, and that'll reduce the bandwidth. Because I don't use the video at all, so it's all good. But so I was wondering, you mentioned volume 3, which I got, and that was fantastic. And I think I saw you guys were working on new music and figuring on recording. So where is that at? How far along are you? Where are you standing with that?
I got three solid. We got three solid ideas right now.
Yeah.
And it's structuring them, putting them together, and recording wise, that's with all the extra, the bucks have been sent our way via the Capitol guy in the sky and all that. So I bought a bunch of recording equipment.
Nice.
And this one we're going to do. We're going to record. So all the money that we made, like with shows, is going in the merch. So we're going to have a whole lot of merch, and it's going to be a lot easier. This one we can take our time with it. And I can get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Everybody we've worked with has done great. We still going to work with people, but
totally. But
we're going to try.
We can start recording our own stuff, and it works out well. Just recording it on our own, then.
Because I'm a very stickler about my sound. It has to sound a certain way.
He'll make it sound good. I'm very confident it's going to sound good because Jeff.
Yeah, but no, that's
what
we're planning. It's going to be actually a self-release, but it's going to be well put together. We're going to try to put it well together, make sure it's well put together.
Yeah, and so are you recording at Justin's house, Jeff's house? Where's it?
Justin's house in the basement.
Excellent.
Actually, so throughout the pandemic, we bought a house, and my partner and I bought a house throughout the pandemic.
Oh, geez.
Pretty crazy. It was very crazy.
Yeah.
Doing it. Yeah. So, we were in an apartment for the last 3 years, and I couldn't practice my drums.
Right.
I don't know where I was, and just having to rent a spot always, and having to go.
You always good. Pay for a place to practice, which is not a problem. Everybody's been really gracious.
Yeah.
They like practice in their basement.
No, we were playing Jeff from Scissor Now. We practiced in his basement for
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Oh, really? Awesome.
And we just moved out this summer. We just moved into my house.
His house. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's cool.
A lot. He's gracious host and stuff like that.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Awesome. So in terms of the stuff that you're kind of working on, is it are you sticking to the same formula? Are you trying to do anything different, trying to spread your wings into different areas, or just keeping with the awesome Bubak sound that you got right now?
Yeah. I don't feel like we ever really have something in mind. There's just something like a direction to go in,
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
It's kind of organic.
However the songs end up, they end up.
Yeah.
The past, a couple of them have been kind of there's been a little bit getting faster and faster. That's so we want to. I want to slow it back down and groove it out and make the songs a lot longer. Just more. Something where you can you want to really get high and enjoy it. You can not get high and enjoy it. Drink a full beer through one of them. I like short songs, but I really like long songs because you can part after part after part after part.
Yeah, I mean, we've always had that little bit of thrash, hardcore, punk, this the faster D beat kind of stuff. That we both
it's just easy.
We both like it. So it's it's cool to have this the sludgy and then pick up the pace in a fast D beat kind of thing, but we really just we've been getting faster and having more and more fast tunes as we go, and we're just we don't want to be a hardcore band,
right?
Not that we and we'll still have elements of that or something, but
we're not getting rid of that. It's just it's just I don't want to. I like where we're at because we can do different things. Every record it's going to sound the same because all the songs sound different.
Yeah.
They're all now just structured it's what I like about it. But I think that's the formula we're going to keep going with is just whatever happens with it.
Yeah.
I'd like to incorporate, some more pedals and what are those, some loopers.
Oh,
and
right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm getting kind of too far, because this pedal board, it's actually my second pedal board. I've been playing for 30 years. I've never had a pedal board before, never used pedals before. Now that's a big thing that I'm learning now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like to get a looper because that would help out, It's all the money, man.
For sure. Well, and then do you ever worry about so when you've got a bunch of pedals and you've got a different arrangement that's got maybe turning, do you ever worry about having to you can do a lot of stuff when you're recording, get fancy, get crazy, do a bunch of stuff
live.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to make sure that it's, I always thought that we sounded better live than on any of our recordings.
I would agree. I think you guys have
because it's the way I present everything with the bass and the guitar. It's just like they're blended together. It's just, but everybody, it's like, the last JC was awesome. He's like guitar. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
The bass needs to come out, but they kind of mix together.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like everyone's like, you guys sound like a band. You sound like 5 pieces. That's what we're trying to do. It really doesn't. It doesn't really come out.
It doesn't come through. It doesn't come through, and it's not to any fault of the engineer. Or anything.
Some bands are hard to capture.
We have like a stereo kind of surround, and you can record it in stereo, but it's never gonna sound like it does when we play it.
Yeah, like our live.
Obviously, not as loud or whatever.
But. Right. Yeah, but that sort of those frequency separations that you want to get, that you have live, that maybe the recording doesn't transfer. So
and you don't feel the rumble in your you don't feel your fucking heart palpitate.
That is what I love about seeing you guys play live, because that's just like it is physical. It is totally physical.
I don't like loud, because when you're loud. In most places we play don't have a great, PA system. I've been to a few shows where I've seen bands just totally drowned out their drummers.
Yeah, they crank it. Yeah. Or their own vocals even.
Whatsoever. And, why don't you, there's no vocalist. Why don't you throw a mic in the kick drum?
Right.
It's like, but to be loud is good, but to be, tolerable.
Yeah.
I like being loud but tolerable, but I like to feel it. You have to feel it. It's got to, rib cage has got to rattle.
Yeah.
It's just that it gets you, because you feel it, but you don't hear it. It's like, what's that? That's why I like that PV Black Widow cabinet I got. I can get that. It's that really, really super low, that frequency. It's just like
the brown note.
Exactly. The brown note.
Mike Watt would call it the brown note.
Yeah. Do you know Scott? Shit, I'm blanking on his last name. 1,000-Yard Stare.
Scott
Lambert. Yeah. He was always talking about that too. The brown note. That's funny. So
it does happen, because if you're too lower, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Damn it. So I wanted to kind of get the backstory on Bubak. So like, I was always curious, how did you come up with the name, and then how did you guys get together and form the band?
Mind if I take it for a minute? Well, you can. You can just tell them, tell them the truth. Andy told me.
We fell out of the sky.
Andy Furta pulled me out of retirement because I quit playing it in 2005. After I was in 4 or 5 bands at one time.
Yeah.
And I stopped playing, but I still hung out and stuff like that. And then Andy, he's like, we want to do this. We want to play with Mike Hard. So we were, it was whatever he was doing. So I filled in. Then we needed a drummer, and we got a hold of Justin, and then Justin will tell it better. But it's
well, I hadn't even Andy got a hold of me. And they had just recruited Jeff. I think you had done 1-2 practices with them before I came there.
One show. This could be our second show or something. It was just a couple months or something like that.
But they brought me on because there was a show. They needed somebody. A drummer dropped out, and they needed me to come on because there was a show in Chicago and Theater Bazaar. And I was like, sure, I always thought playing Theater Bazaar would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I said, before, and I hadn't, to be honest, I really didn't know too much about Mike, but the God Bullies and the whole,
right.
That whole deal, and Enthrall, and I didn't really know about all those guys, but so I learned. Anyways, joined with these guys, and we played and played those couple of gigs, and then from that, it didn't really go on with Mike anymore. he kind of stopped and then reformed with some old band dudes. So
he threw all that together for a second with those guys.
So that
great. He's doing what he's doing, but that's how we got together.
Okay.
And we played in that, and then that split, and Andy's like, well, let's just start a band. So we were actually the Zen Banditos for a little bit. For, I think,
I remember the Zen Banditos. Yeah.
2 years. And then
Andy moved to Arkansas. He moved out of town, and Jeff and I were just like, we really,
we can continue.
We dug playing together, we were in the pocket together all the time when we had Andy on guitar, like what it was. Andy like had that kind of like, that like psychedelic, slightly noisy, hard rock, kind of, sound, and Jeff and I had like the tight rhythm, and we got tight like right away. I didn't feel the tightness when I was playing with Mike because I just, it wasn't music I was familiar with.
People commented that when we got together, we're playing, when we started, me and him just fit together because the way I play, the way I write stuff, he just, I'm not too strict on when I write. It's like he does whatever he wants. I don't know. He does whatever he wants. You got to feel free. And that makes you happy when you're like if I was going to tell a drummer, I would hate that you got to play like this all the time. I'd be like, that's so boring. I don't want to do that. If you want to do whatever you want, if he's playing too,
well, that would kind of suck the soul out. It would suck the soul out of the music too. I mean,
I've been in bands. I've been in bands where people's kind of like there's like the band leader. And they kind of, I've been told, that I need to like chill out, man. Just play, like
dude, slow down.
I'm overplaying.
Slow down.
Slow down is a thing I need to do, because like I pick up the tempo. A lot of drummers do that, but I pick up the tempo as I go, and I like I'm not a fucking metronome, you know what I mean? But I need to practice. It'd probably do me some good, but. What was my point? Oh yeah, I've been in bands. I'm high. Band leader kind of like, and the band leader was I doubt they're watching. Nobody's watching. That would
see it again, but it doesn't matter.
Anyways, the band leader drummer too. So and so he always had something to say about what I should do, and the other guy in the band too. He's just, you're too loud. You play, I'm just like, man. Too loud. Why'd you ask me to be in this band? I play the drum. Well, whatever.
But now it's a perfect fit with you and Jeff, right? So
Well, yeah. So back to that though.
So
after Banditos dissolved.
Yeah, I heard like Royal Blood. I was like, look, there's 2 guys and all that. And I looked into that. What he was doing with his bass, I was like, I can fucking do that.
Right.
Just make it heavy. Just make, not copy, but just make it heavier, just to where, the system I'm using, I wouldn't mind having a guitar, but not for Bubak, but, having bass set up like that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need 3 guitar players. You wouldn't need 2. You could, if you get down, you could have a bass player with all that rig and another guitar player just doing leads. And I think that would sound so heavy.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we don't lead. So I'll just do that. And that's what we stuck with. My system did grow a little bit. I added another amp, I think.
Yeah, we were just 1 half stack in the bass rig. Just like
I pair it off, so I got another.
Hey, they have different tones and sound.
I got 2 amp emulators now, and I've got a little bit more pedals, but now it sounds more of fuller. That's why I want it to sound full, because we can make it.
We can actually turn it down, and it's still that's the beauty of it too. You turn it down, and it still sounds just as full because of the way what he just said.
Yeah, I'm always messing with my tone, but I don't know
anything about it.
It's always got to be right. It's why I want people, especially shows. When we do shows, I've got every show I get butterflies. It's like, man, this is
really.
I want everything to be right. I don't want anything to mess with, because again, there's a lot of equipment here that a lot of does happen. But yeah, I get Yeah, I get butterflies for every show. It's just
double and triple checking every connection, going, God damn it.
I've been doing this for so long, you shouldn't. It should be just go as it flow. But I care about what I'm doing. I care about how everything sounds. I want everybody to have, okay, I want it to be good. It's gonna, if I didn't care, it would sound like crap.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to. Amps cutting out, and stuff like that. Now I got a pretty good setup now, so I'm happy with it.
Awesome. So we've got Mike has joined us. Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. What's up, man?
Awesome. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I've been a fan for like 8 minutes. So I saw the link that you posted. I listened to the tunes and they're fucking incredible. So I'm like, I told all the guys, I said, I'm going to jump on Chuck's podcast because these guys are fucking great. So
awesome. Very cool, man. So we were just kind of getting the backstory from Jeff and Justin about like how Bubak came together. And the one question we didn't touch on is like Bubak, like where did that name come from?
Name. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there was there's some pretty sweet band names out there. I was trying to just think of something that would be cool, and I wanted to do something from like some sort of like old folklore of some country, that's like some evil creature or something like that. And almost every country, every culture has like their own version of the boogeyman, and it's like it all just kind of varies. But this is like from Czechoslovakian and like sort of Eastern European folklore. Bubak is like this like creature that it hides by the water and it like can cry like a baby. Lures people in there like, oh no, a baby's crying, and then
it kills them. It takes their soul and it weaves their souls into clothes, and it's a pretty tripped out creature. And
cover of Bubak's Revenge where he's like, there's like these black cats that are pulling him on a cart. That's like part of the like.
Oh really?
Pulled around by like evil black cats.
Yeah, he's like a scarecrow. He's like a scarecrow creature, but he kills you. He takes your souls, weaves them into his coat. Your soul is a part of his coat. It's some tripped out.
Yeah, that's
I would
believe this hundreds of years. It's
still a thing. And then it's also a popular like name in the Middle East and in like central Pakistan and like
central of Pakistan. There's
the Middle East and central northern Asia or whatever you would call that.
Yeah.
There's people with the last name of Bubak that just like start following us.
and then they tune in and go, what in the hell?
One guy likes her shit all the time and like comments and like.
That's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Peter Bubak. Peter Bubak. You're out there, Peter.
Yes.
Awesome.
So he mailed the shirt to him.
Yes.
Oh, really? Cool. And where's this guy at?
I believe Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
Really awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, because he got into because his last name it's his real last name, and it's like, he thought it was like pretty cool because there is a band over in Europe called Bubak.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I saw that when I was looking at names because I looked at a list of like folklore like demons and shit like that.
All the good names are taken.
Like, there was a lot of them that were taken. I think one of them, I forget one. It was between. One was like Icelandic. I didn't want to use any from like any. I didn't want to go with anything from any like
kind of things.
Non-white culture, you know what I mean? I didn't want to like go bite something from like, some Central American story or Asian story.
Aztec, right? Because we're not. We're
Eastern
like,
European. Let's do European and just try to find some crazy evil shit. But yeah, they were all taken, and then I finally found one. And what I decided, I was like, I think we can do this, man, because they only have fucking like 200 followers on Facebook. So, 200,
which is cool. That's good. Hey, 200 is better than nothing.
Right.
So, They were like in France. They were in France. So.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're a lot. They're a good band. They're a lot different than we are. You know, I think they're more metal, traditional than we are. You know, which is a good thing. You know, there's not too many bands that are traditional metal.
Oh, I know.
Like, you know, the grind and.
You know, when we got together, like I felt we were more of a stoner rock band than we were Doom, and you know, we when we first started, it was more stoner metal, stoner rock. You know, we had all the grooves Jeff had written. But when we got together in like 2016, he said that a lot of the riffs from a lot of the songs from
I wrote in 2000. 2001 when I was in Chapstick and another band. I was at the time.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he just recorded them at home, and then he like sent me these riffs.
I got
emailed them to me, and I was like,
stockpiles of this, you know. But they're all different genres. You know, it's not all the same. There's some funky stuff.
But a lot of them, I really grabbed onto the like, you know, the stoner shit and the stoner metal shit. I was like, these songs are fucking sweet, and. You know, just riffs, you know, and then we would just piece them together, and we made them more, and we made them more, and then we ran through the songs that Jeff had, you know, all of the riffs that Jeff had written through our like first album, maybe partially into the second album, and then we had to write our own, and we had to write more shit.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, cool. What?
It's all I'll think of things and I'll hold it and I'll just record it and just keep it stockpiled away, and you know it's brain's always going with music. It's all day long. I get headphones in at work. It's like I don't talk to people, just listen to music and all different.
Awesome.
So
is the songwriting process pretty much still the same? Like Jeff's coming up with some riffs. You guys get together, jam.
Parts too, yeah. It's pretty much.
Yeah,
I'll come up with some riffs, and then but a lot of it does come up like when we start practicing, we'll just drone out. We'll just get something going and just start.
Yeah, we improv kind of a lot, and then we just jam.
Something will come up out of there. We'll remember, I always used to record our practice. Always record it. I would always record your practice.
Yeah.
Just get a little PR, you know, something to just record it, just to listen to. So, hey, like, you remember that part? Oh, this part.
Yeah. Because you're like, you'll come back to practice the next time and be like, oh, that fucking shit we were playing last practice was awesome. But then that's not it. Oh no, can't remember it. No, lost forever.
I definitely remember doing that shit when I was in battalion, because we'd start jamming and doing something, and then somebody, you know, because we used to record our, you know, on a little boom box, record the practice, and
I miss those days. Yeah.
And somebody would forget to do it, or you'd run out of tape, and then you're like, hey, do you remember that thing? And like, fuck, we don't know. God damn it, it's gone.
Nowadays, you know, I got the cheap version of Pro Tools at home. I just take it home and I'll take a part that it sounds good.
Yeah.
And I'll make a part of that, and I'll put a song. I'll do what Metallica did on the one record, just put a practice together. Okay, there's a song.
It's like a puzzle.
It's usually how it comes up. It's just ideas that, okay, that part would sound good. It's like, so I try not to sit down and I'm going to write a song and it's going to be like this. It's just whatever happens, how the rhythm starts out is where it goes.
When he first started, like, because he, like he was saying, he would like take, you know, parts of it and just take little pieces, and he would even change the beat of the song, like, change the, like, make it an off, you know, like an off meter thing, you know, and like just from our practice, he would splice it up and shit, and like it would trip me out because I didn't know that that's what he did. I thought at first, like I thought it was a practice. I thought it was a practice that like was just clean, that it wasn't altered in any way, you know. I was like, I don't remember playing that. Weird fucking what time signature is that even? That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember playing that, man. I was and he's like, no, I made it like that. And it's like, oh,
that's
okay, I'll learn it like that. That's cool.
That's the secret's out. That's how we write. That's how we write music.
Awesome.
That's how we watch your songs come out. It's just like with a part and it progresses from there. And a lot of it's improv.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's feeling.
Most of it comes from jamming and improv, and then when we're on
into that plane and we're together, is usually when it clicks, and that's the best. We get our
very cool. Awesome. Mike, do you have any questions for these guys?
Yeah, can you still hear me? I put these earbuds on, so I didn't know if the mic's still
nope, can hear you.
So the stuff is really good. I just bought all your shit. So but it's awesome, man. I can't wait to download it and dig deeper into it. So why did you guys decide to do the 4-song releases instead of like doing a full length or any of that shit?
I think it's because we write music slow.
Okay.
It's I got a lot of ideas, but it's weird. It's the 4-song. I'd like to do full lengths, but a full length would take it so long. It'd be like a Tool record.
Yeah.
7, 8 years.
Yeah.
I like getting product out. I like getting, if you've got 4 songs, okay, get 4 songs, just EPs, because it takes so long to write, for me, something that I like, good music is,
yeah,
it takes so long. And it takes so long.
And also like we get caught up in.
You guys might have froze. Uh-oh. We're waiting in anticipation. Well, they really blacked out here. Mike, it could be a short one.
We jinxed you, man. 3 weeks ago, we totally fucked up your podcast.
Oh man, that was funny as hell. But re-listening to it again, and putting it together, I was dying.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It is. Oh God.
Saying yes.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, so actually, the band room is underneath the. Is closer to the modem or the Wi-Fi router.
All right, cool.
It's pretty much underneath it, but we didn't have the couch in there, so I don't know. I got my drum stool. That's cool. I don't know about Jeff.
Jeff's just gonna have to stand in the corner.
No, we got our merch boxes.
I got a merch crate.
There you go.
All right, cool.
You guys want to check out our band room, which. No, and I don't get me wrong. I love my country and everything, but the red, white, and blue lights was not on purpose. They were just lights that we had, and we just like to string up Christmas lights, and we're like, well, we're not like, some like Patriot rock. So, but it looks cool. We're talking about getting some purple or some shit up there. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, but this is Jeff just got this stuff here.
Yeah, I got it all set up.
Oh,
the bass goes all into this, is going all into this, and his drums are all going to go into that, and that's how they're going to take that. I can take that home, dump all that into Pro Tools, and it all be individual tracks, and then go from there. And
so you'll be able to kind of live track your practice, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome.
He dropped his bowl, man.
Oh no, I didn't
it's
break
back
it.
there in the corner.
Heads.
No, that's cool, man. I think the idea of like getting shit out and but still giving yourself time to like get it where you like it before you get it out 3 and 4 songs at a time is awesome because it lets you kind of weed out the shit that you don't really care for, but at the same time, like you said, people aren't waiting 6 or 7 years for new shit,
Yeah. There is. It wouldn't take us that long to write a full line. It'd probably take a couple years, but it is that point because there's a lot of records. It's like there's some solid songs on it.
Yeah.
And there's a few that are okay. They just needed to fill some space.
Right.
And nowadays a lot of bands aren't. They're.
Can you see us? Okay.
Did you just kill?
Yeah. Jeff's kind of off on the side a little bit. There you go.
Cool.
No, where is he? Where are you guys?
You can see us good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of now bands are starting to put filler stuff in, like just little. like a different instrument, you know, like piano stuff, you know, they put that in there as an extra track and stuff like that, which is cool. You know, it's I like getting it out.
That kind of used to, I mean, happen back in the day, I think, because some, you know, what was that album I was just listening to? Joe, the James Gang, Thirds. You ever listen to that album? You know, it's got Walk Away, but there's like, I love that song. But then there's some other songs on there. You're like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Just kind of killing studio time, I guess, because they're kind of mediocre tunes at best.
Yeah, and it does happen, you know. It does happen from time to time, you know. But it's like just fill the space. We got 45 minutes. We got to fill it.
Right.
And that's why, you know, it's we wrote music, but that's why how we formed. We got together. We'd write enough to get a good set going.
Right.
You know, just, you know, try to, you know, play. Now we could play for an hour easily, but without too many covers and stuff. Oh, there's my weed kazoo, you know. Covers are fun, but it's always, you know, to surprise people, to pull stuff off, like, you know, why they, you know.
Yeah.
That is something that we kind of took a little time to do during the pandemic, as we learned several covers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we were talking about, we were like, we could do a cover album, that'd be cool, but like, no.
We actually started that, but it didn't go too far.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. Pandemic first started, you know, right after volume 3, we were done with that, and this was like, okay, let's do it, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a couple local band cover that we'd like to do every once in a while.
He's got the poster right behind him. Yeah, we do Gawkers.
Oh, really? Awesome. That's awesome, Tom.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that, and it's still on it. We might do that with the next one. That's probably what we're gonna do. We're gonna have 4, but we're gonna put some extras, but they're gonna be covers. They're gonna be recorded covers and stuff like that.
Cool.
Pretty much stuff that we know we can get away with, and without having to knock on, you know, Buzzo's day, you know, Buzzo, can I?
Yeah. Can I get? I need your license.
Can we record this and do this to your song?
Yeah.
He still owns, he might still own Helter Skelter and She's So Heavy. I don't know. But now when we do that, we put those two together.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's awesome. So one question I like to ask, you know, kind of the origin story for you guys is like related to your first album. So what was the first album you guys bought with your own money? And it could have been gifted to you too. Who wants to go first? Jeff?
That would be me. That is my first gifted record was.
Or you could have bought it, but either way.
Was Peace of Mind.
Oh, awesome.
Iron Maiden.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That was when it came out. My brother was like, "Oh, you need this," but yeah, I grew up listening. I was the youngest out of 4. But my 2 older brothers, my oldest brother is like 14, 15 years older than I am.
Oh, okay.
He brought home, he was bringing home, he was buying all the Alice Cooper, everything, all that right in the day. And I was like 4 or 5, you know, Beatles, you know, we were listening to stuff on 8-track too. 8-track was probably, it was like a Hendrix 8-track, one of the first ones. And there was Black Sabbath. We had, you know, all on 8-track, you know, in 73, 74. So I was really 3 or 4 years old. That's what I grew up listening to. That's where I got into it, but I listened to everything, and I was just able to, and I think that's what, you know, I try to incorporate everything.
Yeah.
I picked up through, you know, with the jazz, a little bit of jazz, but more of the funk, just the groovy, funky stuff to, you know, with us. It's more, one girl saw us at the Death Star. She said we kind of had a Southern swing to us. I really, 38 Special was a great band, you know, all that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that Southern rock feel, you know, some of that stuff is like, okay, I can see where she get that from. And I do understand.
Yeah.
Peace of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, peace of mind.
I can't quite, it was either Master of Puppets or Ozzy Osbourne, The Ultimate Sin.
Nice.
So, very similar kind of thing. My brother had, and they were always cassette tapes then, but we did have an 8-track player in my mom's car, which was sweet. We had Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap and a couple other awesome 8-tracks that we ride around in this station wagon that like fucking let off so much fumes that like you couldn't go anywhere without getting.
I recant. The first one I bought was a Cheap Trick record.
Oh, awesome.
It was.
Your audio just cut out. Can you guys hear us? Oh. Can you hear him, Mike?
I can't hear him. No.
All right.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Yeah, but it was the first Cheap Trick record because that was the hardest one to find. But I was always, because my brother, like I said, he always had that. I didn't, I always got hand-me-downs. I remember taking a Monkees record into kindergarten class one time so we could all, for show and tell, so we could dance to it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm a little up here, but.
Yeah. Well, I remember the Monkees album, and then when I was younger, my sister had the Osmonds. Remember those 45s of the Osmonds?
Oh, fuck
and my mom. So when Justin, when you were talking about the fumes in the back of the car, that was definitely us too, because we had some old, like I think it was a Chevy, this blue Chevy station wagon that my mom had, and I swear to God, it was rusted out in the back, so that the fumes were actually coming up, and us kids are facing backwards, right?
Oh yeah,
fumes in your face, and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm not brain damaged.
It smells back here. It smells. Oh, just open.
Just open the window.
But yeah, my brother got me in the metal really young.
They blame me for doing something else, and I was like, no, I didn't do that. It's just the car. I didn't. Yeah, those were the days. Leaded gas too.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
We survived.
Well, what was the first concert you guys went to?
My dad took me and my friend to see Aerosmith.
Nice.
Fucking
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts opened up.
Excellent. When was that?
Where was that? Well, I was.
Where and when?
Grade, which that was in 1990, and it was at the Palace.
Oh wow! So it was a big place.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
That was my first concert.
Excellent. Jeff, how about you?
I can't remember the band, but it was probably what got me started in all of this. It was when my second oldest brother Jay took me to the Greystone. It was a punk night. It was 1984. I was 14. There's a Greystone. You know, it didn't matter. It was all ages already.
Yeah.
But that got me. I can't remember it because all I saw were mohawks and people stage dive. It might have been DOA.
Oh really? Wow.
Fucking A.
That's where I started playing, was at the Greystone. That was in the, then a couple of years later I started my first band, and it's where I started. Yeah, my first concert was at the Greystone. It was always a local thing, but that's where I got it. Didn't go to the big venues. Didn't go see concerts. My parents weren't into that.
Yeah.
My dad, that's the Beatles, that's junk. Now he was more traditional music and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, I remember when I brought home because somebody at school had Kiss Alive, and I was like, I got into Kiss, and so then I wanted to get the Kiss album, and then I remember I was super happy because I got I think it was Destroyer, and showing it to my mom and showing it to my grandma, and they're going, "Who are these devils?" It's Kiss. Like, what the hell? And then when my mom heard the lyrics to Cold Gin, she was like, what in the hell are you listening to?
Wow. It's just music. All it is just music. Those are just words. They're not telling you. just what they're singing about. You know?
Right. Oh man. Oh Lord. Yeah. So the other thing I was wondering about, like, as far as backstory and history with you guys is, do you remember the very first time you were on stage, and where did you play, and what band were you in, and what were you playing?
First band do you mean us as a band, or you mean
no, like each of you individually as musicians?
It was at my freshman year, and I wasn't playing anything. I didn't start playing the drums until I was 15. So I was 14, and my friends were playing now. I was like, man, I want to be a part of this. Like guitar. I wanted to play the guitar, but then I always wanted to play the drums. So when I was nice. But anyways, I hadn't started playing yet. So I was like, I'll sing, because I was a theater dork. I did a lot of theater. I took like voice lessons and stuff,
Oh, cool.
So first time I was ever on stage, I was definitely for like it was for The King and I at the Croswell Opera House.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome, man.
The first time I was ever on a band was at my high school, which is a little Onstead.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yep.
Where I grew up. It's in the Irish Hills, just like out in the middle of nowhere in the boonies.
Yeah.
And our talent show, and we played. This is in '93 or '94, and we played Territorial Pissings by Nirvana.
Really?
And Junkhead by Alice in Chains, but had to change the lyrics. We were doing drugs, so I changed it to Junk Food. It was like a weird song, man. It was like singing about you. Yeah. And we didn't play them very.
Oh, you cut out.
I'm gonna go grab some whiskey.
All right, brother.
And of course, we cut out the.
Cheers.
Awesome. So, Jeff, how about you?
1984, 85. Hamtramck Pub. The band was Black Eye. I was 14. Had to get snuck in, and they had to hide me PA because I would play with my older brother's friends. They were all 18, 19 already. They were already graduated. They were graduating from high school, and they was like, "Oh, I could play." I was a whiz on guitar and stuff like that when I first started. When I picked up the guitar, because I could hear it.
Yeah,
I can hear it. I can play it, and I'm cursed with that. So I picked everything up, and I was playing the bass. And it was the band was Black. We opened up for Snake Out. Lenny and the guys, it was 1984. We painted an upside down cross on my cheek to make me look older. I don't know how. But yeah, 1980, 85.
That's crazy. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. I never would have thought of upside down crosses as being an aging factor.
No, it's just weird. But yeah, that was my first one.
Oh, cool, awesome. And well, shoot, I thought of a question, I just forgot. Oh, so what inspired you guys to want to play music? Like, what was there a particular band, an artist, or was it your older siblings that inspired you to want to play guitar, bass, drums?
So my brother played guitar. My brother got me into metal. He was the first person that ever exposed me to music that was not like nursery rhyme, like kid stuff, like seriously when I was like 5, that's when he gave me the either the Ultimate Sin or Master of Puppets. But
there's going to be some editing on this one, Mike.
Play guitar, and he's always just always. I started listening to the drums a lot, and I don't know. I'm not really sure entirely what it was that pushed me over the edge that I just wanted to. Like, I joined band, in school, and I wanted to play the drums, but everybody fucking played the drums. They already had. It was always the most popular thing, you know what I mean? So like, I didn't play the drums, so I got the saxophone, which was cool. It was cool, and I was doing pretty well with it, but then like, I didn't really enjoy band, so I quit, and then I didn't play my saxophone at all. And then pulled it off when I was like 14, just turned 15, pulled it out, brushed the dust off of it, sold it, and bought my first drum set.
Awesome. Nice. Jeff, how about you?
Well, I got bit by the bug at a very young age because my dad played the trumpet, like just not professionally, but he'd always fiddle around with it.
Yeah.
And at a very young age, was always into music, anything with a melody. I didn't, I was young. I didn't anything. I liked everything. Like you were talking about the Osmonds and stuff.
Yeah.
Karen Carpenter, anything like top, because that's what my dad listened to was top 40, whatever was top 40 then. So I got into that. I was like, it's all like, show tunes. Yeah, that's all cool. Then, my brother started, got me into like, the MC5, at a young age, Iggy and the Stooges, Bob Seger. I grew up in Plymouth, and he, about 5 streets down from Chris Campbell, the bass player, where he grew up, where he lived.
Yeah.
Playing Bob Seger, and there was a lot of bands that were in Plymouth that would practice and stuff like that. That I never got to see, which I wish, but I got bit by the bug at a very young age. It just, I played when I finally got the opportunity to play an instrument in middle school. I played the violin.
Nice.
For a little bit, played the violin. I always got into it, because I was like, I want a guitar. And it's like, oh, you're going to play something different. So I picked up the violin and played that for a little bit. My older brother got a guitar, and that was, as soon as I got it, I was like, you're better than I am. You just picked it up. I was like, I don't know. It just, as soon as I picked it up, it just went right to it. And at that time, I was really into Rush. So I was 14. Like 12 or 13, I learned every 2112 could play it beginning to end. Farewell to Kings, man. Started really, I was first guitar player, and that's all, that's like, oh, guitar, Van Halen. So I was okay. Never got the finger tapping down, but it's pretty damn good. And
when we started playing, and he was just a bass, not just a bassist, and a fucking great bassist, but he was a bassist.
Well, I play bass guitar.
I didn't know
bass. I play bass guitar. There is a difference.
And
John Entwistle.
When I heard him pick up a guitar, when I heard him play, like when we played in a band together for a little bit, and he was a different band, like a kind of like a thrash hardcore crossover sort of thing. And he came on because the band was happening before him, and then he came on to be a second guitar, and fucking like I had no idea that Jeff was so good on guitar. It made sense because he's so good on the bass, he's just fucking good. So like, also, earlier when you asked the question of like, or we were just talking about how we found our groove, and one of the reasons I think that we play so well together too is that Jeff is also he's a drummer,
Yeah, I play drums for Chapstick for.
He's just like he'll pick up anything and probably he's one of those dudes that'll just pick up anything.
Yeah, I was always beating on in school. I would always get in trouble for beating on a desk. Stop that! I wouldn't even know I was doing it. Tapping on the desk and stuff like that. So I always get in trouble for tapping on the desk, but I love the drums.
Yeah, my point was though is that he had kind of a similar style to me. I feel like when I heard some of your recordings and shit like that, I was like, no wonder we kind of like. And when I just heard the way he did the drums, I was like, it makes sense why we just kind of like. Just
right. Yeah, it does make sense.
I play the drums like a guitar player. I know like notes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Beat is a beat, but it incorporate it like with what the guitar is,
the rhythm
or the versus the bass. The bass is just, but it's weird.
Cool. Cool. So Mike, how about you? When did you? What inspired you to want to play bass?
Oh man, I think I went through it in our podcast, but I'll go back a little bit earlier. So my mom, her entire family owned a bunch of like old honky tonk bars in Detroit. So if you think of like back in the late 70s, early 80s, right around the Ambassador Bridge where the Boblo dock was, my mom's uncles owned a bunch of like little fucking hick bars down there. And they would always have incredible bands in there that played on the weekends. And these were all like guys from the neighborhood that were auto workers and shit. And they would play country music in there on the weekends. So with the family, I'd go in there at 6 or 7 years old and you see these killer fucking piano players and steel guitar players and shit like that. And I remember sitting down with an older guy when I was like just a kid and him explaining to me what I was looking at on the keyboard of a piano. And it struck a chord with me that like, I understood exactly what he was talking about. I could go home and do the same shit that he was doing, not with the same proficiency, but I understood what chords were and how shit worked together and what major and minor was. And so I took that, similar to what Justin said. I remember picking up a saxophone in 3rd grade. And because, with the buck teeth, they're like, well, you can play the sax, don't play the trumpet because you'll suck as a trumpet player because of your teeth or whatever. And you're in elementary school and you're learning like when the Saints go marching in and shit. And that just kind of expands on. But kind of like these guys said, older sisters, older brother. I remember getting caught with like the mental health fucking tape from Quiet Riot in my backpack when I was in 3rd grade or whatever. So you naturally gravitate towards that. And as I got to like 10, 11, 12 years old, you wanted to play guitar. Well, there was always stuff beating around the house. So you just start picking it up and start playing and hearing by ear what you're hearing on the radio. And you get a lot of, when you're that young and you pick it up, even if you sound like shit, a lot of people tell you you're talented, you're good, and you should really check it out and try and do it. And my mom had a big enough tolerance for fucking noise that she let me do whatever I want when it came to that, as long as I wasn't like running the streets and, killing people or whatever. So it was just natural, man. It's a great thing. And I've tried to do that with my boys too, in that anytime they wanted to plug in and just tear shit up, go ahead and tear shit up and find your own way. And if you want some guidance, I'll show you along the way, but go find your own path. So cool. I think it's one of the best things that you can pass on, whether it's siblings, whether it's your kids, you just let them go and make noise, let them get it out, because otherwise they keep that shit pent up and it's just, it's not worth it. So
yeah. Cool. Awesome, man. Well, guys, thanks so much for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it. If you listen to the podcast, I end with the one last controversial question. Mike already knows, and that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
Pineapple.
I'm down. I'm totally down. I'm down with it.
All right. Excellent.
Not bad.
Any particular toppings you like to combine with it?
Bacon, that's it.
Any particular toppings that what?
That you combine with the pineapple?
Red onion, jalapeno.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Red onion, jalapeno. I'm a vegetarian, so back in the day, though, I would have done the Hawaiian,
it's got to move around. It's got to move around on its own for me to,
Awesome. Well, Jeff, Justin, thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. Mike, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, man, you guys are fucking great. I love it.
Thank you, man.
Right on.
Thanks, Chuck.
See you guys.
Thanks, Chuck.
All right. Thanks to Jeff, Justin, and Mike for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. As usual, we had a ton of fun. Bubak is planning for shows this spring and summer. In the meantime, they've got a ton of new super cool merch to check out. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industry such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.